Thank you, Zimbabwe, for tuning in to yet another informative edition of your program. This is Agricultural New Directions, and I am Wadzanai Manyore. So this is the platform where we discuss business principles and business ethics in the agricultural industry right here in Zimbabwe. Now, at this particular event, this is a very special event where our local farmers, our youth farming community is awarded prizes and recognized by our government in terms of their activities and their ventures in agriculture. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, at this point in time, we are going to go over to our Vice President, who is our guest of honor, who is going to be giving us our speech for today.
I feel greatly honored to officiate at this second edition of the National Young Champion Farmers Awards. Our government is in its drive to ensure an upper middle income economy by year 2030 has prioritized agricultural production and its value chains. The agriculture sector continues to be the backbone of our economy, contributing between 16 and 20% of the gross domestic product GDP and 40% of exports. It is worth noting that youth in agriculture plays a significant role in agricultural production as well as enhancing food and nutrition security. In this regard, government applauds and appreciates the efforts of some agencies such as Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and the International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD, for investing their resources through youth in agriculture. The agricultural industry has been on a decline over a number of decades. Most of the challenges emanated from climate change-induced droughts, resulting in low agricultural production and reduced productivity. The negative trend has impacted negatively on the upstream and downstream industries that rely on agriculture. I therefore challenge the youth in agriculture to take this as an opportunity. You are energetic, skilled, and innovative, and our government is open to progressive minds and ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, the agricultural sector is dominated by many smallholder farmers, usually the youth. The technical skills, but lacking the requisite capital to finance production in the capital-intensive sector. In this case, the establishment of a land bank will go a long way towards ensuring easy access to financial support. The land bank will provide funding for youth, communal farmers, women to enhance productivity. I call upon the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Water, and Rural Resettlement to support and capacitate this youth institution, as well as keep on supporting youth in agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Youth Champion Farmers Awards are now an annual event. All farming, corporate, and government institutions should have this event on their annual calendars. There is a lot of merit in sparing just a day to honor the work of a young farmer. The government wants to ensure that agriculture retains its critical space in the economy. One way of achieving this is through reviving the young farmers' clubs to ensure that all the agricultural graduates from colleges prioritize farming as a noble career rather than seeking employment. We should stop this business of year in, year out, going with a begging bowl to other countries. And yet, we are the best on the continent. We are the best from this region, right up to Cairo in terms of education. Let's now take our education ability and go into every industry, starting by feeding ourselves, going into the manufacturing. In every industry, you are the youth, you are the future. Let's see your worthiness. The youth in agriculture have fully embraced government programs, such as Enhanced Agriculture Production Program, Fumvudza, and other economic recovery programs, among others. There is need for the ministry to work hand in glove with key partners to ensure the youth are satisfied through the Global GAP program to export their produce around the world. As you all know, our economy is very much agro-based. As government, we continue to give priority to the agricultural sector through various programs, such as the farm mechanization, where a certain quota is reserved for the youth. We call upon the private sector to continue complementing government efforts in order to develop together the agricultural sector. At this juncture, I am happy to declare the 2020 second edition of the National Young Champion Farmers Awards officially open.
There you heard it, viewers. That was our Vice President, Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, there with a speech that is inspiring and aspiring farmers in the various spheres of our country right here in Zimbabwe. Now, viewers, we're going to go on a short commercial break. We'll be right back with this and more in the second segment of your program. Stay tuned. Thank you, Zimbabwe, for staying tuned to Agriculture and New Directions, Agribusiness. Now, viewers, we encourage you to be a part of these conversations. Feel free to get in touch with me, the producer, Wadzanai Manyore, on 0772-807-506. Alternatively, you can like our Facebook page, Agribusiness with Wadzanai. You can make a follow-up on this episode and more on our YouTube channel, Agribusiness with Wadzanai. You can also follow us and like us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle there is at Agribusiness110. At this point in time, I've taken the liberty of inviting Mr. Craig Evan. He is the Director Marketing of AgriSeeds right here in Zimbabwe. What are your sentiments on activities that have just taken place today? I understand that the youth are being awarded for their labor, for their farming activities that have been seen by the government, and they feel that as a way of motivating them, they need to award them with something so that they can showcase their talents to the rest of Zimbabwe.
This is a very good move, and we applaud the government, particularly the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water and Rural Resettlement for initiating this, let me say, initiating the youth desk in their ministry or in their office, because that's the one which is leading to these awards here. So the ministry, after appointing this youth desk, you find that they had the liberty to go out and judge and came up with some winners. So you find that this is a very good move, because in any organization, because why I'm saying organization, because I'm looking at farming as a business. So to me, once it's farming as a business, already it is an organization. organization, it is a corporate, it is a company which has got to have a succession plan. Because as a country, imagine you are farming and you don't have children or grandchildren who are actually learning from you with the intention of succeeding you as you get older, as you retire, or as you pass on. So really, this is really good. It is motivating the youth that, you know, you can actually take agriculture as a profession, you can take it as a business, and that way you find it will address some issues. I'll tell you one thing, or one scenario thing, is if you go to a field day, if you go to a training, if you go to a show, the size of the people you see there are elder people, 50 years and above. You hardly find some youth who are between 20 and probably 35 years. So they are all older people, meaning that, you know, wherever these farmers are coming from, they don't have a succession plan. They don't have the youth who are actually being under-trained with the intention of taking over and continue with the same business of farming. So this is really good. It is an occasion whereby the youth have to realize that farming is business. Farming actually can be done by youngsters. And if you look at urban areas, people in towns are over congested. The population, we are overpopulated in towns. Yes. And yet in the farming areas, in the communal areas, there is abundant land, there's fresh air, there's everything. And there's plenty water. There are lots of water bodies there that if the youth actually take it up, go back to the rural areas, go back to the farming areas, start these projects, at least they'll be in a position to create employment and also to earn a living out of agriculture. We've got a young man from Mondoro who is actually farming and exporting the produce into, you know, Europe, into China and the like. And that person is paying his own fees at Harare Polytechnic there. So, and also looking at some siblings, you know, paying their fees and looking after the parents at home. So farming, really, it can pay. And this is the beginning of it, whereby we have to promote agriculture right from ECD and all the way through to graduates, and then that way we are talking of actual farming.
It was a pleasure having you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. At this point in time, I've taken the liberty to invite my fellow sister, Wendy Matashi Madzura. She is the head of agronomy services, Sitco Zimbabwe. Wendy, it's a pleasure to have you on our platform today.
Thank you so much, Wadza. I'm feeling very humbled to be in your midst.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Now, as we get into our discussion, I would like you to comment probably looking at the women's side. I understand that women constitute about 52% of the country's population. Your comments on women in terms of adopting agriculture as a business. We are talking of becoming an upper middle class economy by year 2030. We are talking of poverty alleviation, eradication of hunger. What is the role of women in all of this as a country? Your sentiments on that?
Well, I would say my sentiments would be based on the fact that we are aiming to achieve Vision 2030, like you rightfully said, through the adoption of the SDGs, especially SDG number 1 and SDG number 2, which speak to poverty alleviation and alleviation of hunger as well. Yes. And I believe that women has a role to play. Like you rightfully said, that 52% of the population are women. And based on the agricultural statistics, we see that women contribute significantly to the day-to-day runnings and activities of the farms. What I would like to encourage women is that farming is not a hobby, it's not an extracurricular activity, or it's not a job for you to just merely survive as a family, but rather it's a formidable business. Like here, Wadza, you're here, you're a testimony of what should be done in agriculture, and I'm proud to be standing in your midst because you're a practical farmer. So I would like to encourage other women as well to venture into farming as a profitable business, not just field crops. Even think about horticulture, think about exports. The business, the agriculture business is very broad, and there's a sector where where you can fit as a woman. And as women, if we stick together and work together, I believe we can go far and contribute to the food security and food health, sustenance and subsistence as a nation, and we can grow and increase our productivity, profitability through production.
I would like to congratulate you on your work. I understand that you have taken the first prize as a leading woman in terms of agriculture extension services and even the media and communication. Now, as a winner, what would you like to say to the rest of Zimbabwe, to the youth out there? There is a youth probably in Karoi. There is someone in Mondoro who's looking at you and saying, I would want to win next year. I would like to show them what I'm doing here at my farm. Your comments, your word of advice, your sentiments, your remarks.
Firstly, I would like to say, as an agripreneur, the agricultural sector is very broad. Now I'm speaking to the technocrats who want to venture into the agricultural sector. There is a sector for everyone in agriculture. You need to just pick where your passion is, because with passion, drive and hard work, you can surely achieve anything.
Now, Wendy, as we round off this segment, I would like you to talk to that girl at Gwebi, that girl at MSU, because I am talking from experience. I was at Africa University. I would feel shy sometimes to go and clean the pigs, to go and feed the pigs. I would go using Zirai, and when coming back, I would hide because I was afraid of what the boys would think of me or what the other guys in other faculties would think of me. They would deem me maybe dirty or someone who plays with the pigs. I want you to talk to that girl at Gwebi, that girl at MSU, who's feeling maybe pressure or thinking maybe I chose the wrong profession. What are your sentiments on that?
You know, Wadza, I relate greatly to what you have just said. You know, it wasn't easy. I remember when I went to MSU, the very first thing we did was to tour the whole farm. We walked, I can tell you. It was terrible. And you know, people knew that that's what the agriculture students do. So we were shy when we were walking and everyone was looking at us and cleaning the pigs and everything. So it was quite difficult. But I would just like to say to a young woman, a young lady, a girl who's out there, that it's all worth it in the end. Because at the end of the day, a practical career is what you want to achieve. And agriculture is the bread basket of Africa. So young women, don't despair. We went through it as well, and you can go through it as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Wendy. It was a pleasure having you with me today.
Thank you so much, Waza, for having me.
There you heard it, viewers. This was our second segment where we're talking to the various people and the stakeholders in our agricultural industry right here in Zimbabwe. Now, viewers, we are going to go on a short commercial break. We'll be right back with this and more in the third and final segment of your program. Stay tuned. Welcome back, viewers. We are in the third and final segment of your program where we are still taking some interviews with the various winners and even stakeholders in our agricultural industry. And right now, I am joined by Mr. Kubvakacha, the Cargos chairperson or president right here in Zimbabwe. Mr. Kubvakacha, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Adza, and heart congratulations for your winning of the seat trophy. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you so much. Now, let us get into our discussion. I understand that you are the head or the president or the chairperson of the Coalition of Agriculture Graduates in this country. What is the sole purpose of this organization?
Yeah, thank you very much, Adza, for that vital question. I think as agricultural graduates of Zimbabwe, we understand that we have been trained from various polytechnics, universities and colleges around the nation. Yes. But that agricultural graduate constituency has not been activated or utilized so that our agriculture is professionalized. Remember, we are coming from the land reform program, and now we have secured the land. The purpose of Cargos is to make sure that that land which belongs to us is now fully utilized, irrespective of who own that piece of land and various issues. Every square inch of the land should be utilized through infusing professionalism inherently found within agricultural graduates.
Your comments on an event such as this one, I understand that the youth are being motivated. Yeah. And whilst being motivated, they are inspiring some of them that are watching this program on TV. Yes. What are your comments, your sentiments, and eventually your word of advice to the youth in Zimbabwe?
This is a historic event. I'm very happy. This is wonderful. This is a meeting point where the youth in Zimbabwe are in a position to meet with their national leaders. Look, the president, the vice president have been here, the presidium, the ministers, the MP, mingling with the youths to give youths direction, to make sure that they market agriculture as a noble profession, agriculture as a viable and paying a profession in Zimbabwe. So I encourage every youth to wake up and rush to the fields.
At this particular point in time, I've taken the liberty of inviting Mr. Philip Sewera. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Federation of Young Farmers Clubs right here in Zimbabwe. Mr. Sewera, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Wadzi.
I am very humbled to be standing next to you at such an event where we are awarding our young farmers in Zimbabwe. They are showcasing what they can do and even inspiring some others in the various spheres of our country in the process. Maybe your sentiments, your comments on an event like this one. We are talking of Vision 2030. Where we are talking of poverty alleviation, eradication of hunger, food security, employment. Agriculture speaks volumes of all the 4 things that I've mentioned. Maybe your sentiments, your word of advice to the youth as we take off this discussion.
You know, the youth are the future. It is important to recognize and plan ahead, especially when you're dealing with futuristic young people. So today it's a great day. I'd like to thank the government and the Minister of Agriculture, the Vice President who graced this event for just mere recognition of young people. I think that's a starting point. And then when it comes to understanding the future, it's important that we have a place and a time where we start from. So we know now the rains are coming, they are upon us. And we know that the young farmers now know that for me to be recognized, I need to grow this, I need to grow that. So it means now we've got a systematic way of planning our season, a systematic way of planning our future. So today is a big success in motivating young people to plan ahead.
At this point in time, I have taken the liberty of inviting Mr. Baldwin Mazango. He is the president of the Black Fobi alumni, the Black Fobi Agricultural College right here in Zimbabwe. And he's also a farmer in Mashonaland Central. Mr. Mazango, thank you for joining us today.
Congratulations for winning your award.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mazango. As we get into our discussion, a snippet of our discussion, what do you think of events such as this one? I understand that our farmers were being awarded prizes. What do you think? What does it do to our farming communities? Does it inspire? Is it motivating in terms of mentorship? What are your sentiments on an event such as this one?
Well, you've aptly coined it by the choice of words that you've used. I will just try to add it up as a graduate and also as a farmer from a perspective that I will take. The whole idea of having such awards that recognizes young farmers like us, it's a testimony of the work and the talent and the responsibilities that we have as young farmers in our obligations, chiefly to fulfill our careers, but at the same time to bring value to our country, to unlock value in what we do. So in an event like this, it's a celebration of talent.
Yes.
What it means is it's going to inspire thousands and thousands. It's going to have a multiplier effect. All those who would want to compete to be recognized will not necessarily push themselves hard to be recognized, but at the same time, that is what is required for this new drive in agriculture that is being championed by the youth to take shape and to have an impact and breathe new life into the agricultural space.
At this point in time, I have taken the liberty of inviting Mr. Pardon Muri. He is a farmer in Mashonaland West in Karoi. He is the overall winner of the Youth Farming Awards. Mr. Muri, it's a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you so much, President.
Yes, I would like you to talk about this event as the overall winner. What does it mean to you? Firstly, what does it mean to the country? What does it mean to the youth across the various spheres of the country? What does it mean? And what did you do in order to attain such a position whereby the government has taken the liberty of recognizing you and your work and your farming activities? What does it mean?
Thank you so much, Zimbabweans. You know what it means winning this award? It means a lot that all the hard work that I've done on my farm, all the contribution that I've done to the country. You know, if you see, for example, we've got so much farmers that I do supply with tobacco seedling, more than 5,000 farmers of tobacco that I supply with tobacco seedling. So it means that all that work that I've done to those farmers, and also the tobacco that we had it's a quite big achievement. It means a lot to me, even also to youth. It means that when you are working so hard, wherever you are, where you are, if you look, I'm from far away, Karwe, Gomore, Urungu, it's far away from here. But I've been recognized here in Harar that I've done so well. So it means a lot that wherever, all the youths where you are, do well. Who is into farming, try to do very well, practice proper agronomic practices. You will be recognized where you are.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Mori. It was a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you so much.
At this point in time, I am joined by Wencelas Nyamfukuza, the Head Agriculture and Extension Services at Afrostain Farmtech right here in Zimbabwe. Now, Wencelas, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Wads. And let me also first start by congratulating you for the much deserved award that you just scooped on agricultural communication and publicity.
Thank you so much, Wencelas. As we get into a snippet of our discussion, I would like us to talk about your contribution. Let's say you're a youth. You were also awarded a prize last year at this very same event. What are your sentiments or what are your contributions to the agricultural industry as Afrostain right here in Zimbabwe?
Right now we are inspiring a lot of youth in agriculture. I'm sure you understand that long back agriculture was being viewed as an old man's duty, but right now Afrostain has inspired a lot of individuals, and I'm happy that the word is reached out. So as Afrostain, I'm also happy that today most of our farmers have also moved out with much of the prestigious awards as a result of our extension work. So I'm sure we have done a lot to make sure that farmers have realized their potential and should be able to unlock the genetics that has been put by our seed breeders and our livestock breeders.
Thank you so much, Wencelas. It was a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you so much.
There you had it, viewers. It was quite an eventful day where we were entertained by even the Air Force Band, and there were refreshments that were served. And above all, most of our farmers were inspired in the various spheres of our country by looking at those that were being awarded prizes. From me, your host, Wadzanai Manyore, and the crew behind the scenes, have yourselves a fabulous evening. Thank you for watching.